FOREST is a forest restoration and climate experiment. We want to understand how forests recover, how they recover now, and how they will recover or will be able to recover under climate change. We are now 3 to 4 years into the project and it's going sort of well. We have set up the plots in Tanzania, in the Magambara forest and in the Udzungwa mountains. And we got PhD students and postdocs now working together, and they're starting to measure trees and lianas in Tanzania.
This is one of our forest restoration and climate experiment plots, our FORCE experiment. What we're trying to understand here is how forests recover when they've been disturbed. This is a great example of a disturbed forest because you can see it's covered in vines, it's covered in lianas. Lianas are woody vines, they've got thick bark, they grow quite quickly because they respond to the sun when the forest has been cut down. And they do things like this, they smother trees. You can see here, this is Harrisonia abyssinica. It's a tree that should be growing up straight, but in this case it's being forced back to the ground by the vines. So we want to understand when forests recover, when they don't, and what influences that. And that's what we're going to do right now. Haya jamani, tufanye kazi.
Here we are sampling tree biomass. So we use a couple of parameters to determine tree biomass. So including tree height and diameter. Biomass will enable us to determine how healthy is the forest.
We are now starting to realize that forests are important, so we're starting to let forests recover. So we now started to actively engage with the communities, understanding how they use the forests, grow trees, that they can use these trees and the firewood from these trees rather than going into the forest reserve. But that relies on the goodwill of the communities and that they accept that there is other benefits from having these forests in the landscapes.
So these are the seeds of Mwahe. They're just some of between 40 and 80,000 seeds that we're hoping to collect before November so that we can germinate them in our nursery and then plant the trees out in random combinations with the aim to see which species grow best together, and then we can feed these findings into our restoration efforts moving forward here in Magambara and the surrounding area.
Here in one of our FORCE plots, we're doing surveys of millipedes. Millipedes are detritivores. That means that they eat leaves and they make the soil on which the plants of the forest, the trees and the vines depend on. So if we survey these guys, it means we can tell how healthy the forests are. And as you can see, in the tropics, millipedes can get quite big, but some of them are very, very tiny, so we also have to look quite hard.
Forests are a climate change mitigation tool. We need forests for the climate. We need forests for the biodiversity. So forests can provide win-win solutions if planted in the right place. What we do not want is forests in natural grasslands.
The point of this experiment is to try and understand how tropical forests work, particularly how they recover when they've been disturbed. We're interested in trees and vines, how they interact, and how we can manage them to make the forest more healthy. It's not just about this forest, it's about forests everywhere. So that's the whole point. It's a long-term experiment.